Well, welcome everybody to another of our online reflection for learning activities. This activity is called Just Sitting. It's got three different routes really. One of them is Eugene Gendlin's work on focusing. Another one is Feldenkrais practice, which is a practice for finding easier ways of movement. And the third is there's some resonances with Zen Buddhist talk. There's just sitting as a phrase. There's a phrase that's used to describe some practices there. And essentially, it's a practice for just being quietly here with yourself and noticing what you're experiencing. So I'll lead everybody through it, and then I might ask for a couple of people to comment on their experience. Excuse me. So if you could just relax into your seats and sit comfortably, and just sit quietly in a kind of spirit of just letting sitting be sitting, really without needing to do anything else at all. So everything that's present for you as you're sitting here, just let that be there. And when you feel ready, just bring your attention particularly towards how being here feels in a bodily way. So sort of pay attention inwardly. There's a kind in the academic literature we talk about proprioception, which is our feeling of being here, present as bodies in the space, kind of configured in gravity and so on. And also interoception, which is the technical term for noticing what it feels like on the deep inside. So when you can feel yourself digesting breakfast or feeling hungry and things like that. So I'm asking you to kind of go inwardly into your body, into your stomach and your chest, and to kind of pay attention to that layer of being here. And as you're paying attention, let all aspects of presencing and embodying that come for you just be there. Let them register. Emoting, being aware of being conscious, wondering, breathing, anything that's going on. And just relax into being bodily present in that very visceral way where you're feeling yourself sitting on the chair or where, however you are. Noticing the texture, just that sort of flow of physical presence. And I'd like you to kind of play with what's happening in the spirit of just letting things come and go, change as they will. So we're really looking for letting go of efforts to do things here. So don't try and name things. Don't try and find words or images that fit what's happening. Just stay with the feelings of being here in an allowing and unjudgmental way. So you're not trying to expect anything of yourself, noticing the feeling of being here embodiedly. And as you do that, see if you can let the experience of selecting things or focusing in on things drop away and just be aware of everything in a kind of even way, so evenly aware in every direction. So inward and outward, kinesthetic and visual, figure and ground. Just let yourself be evenly aware in every direction, in every respect. Just relax into that quiet awareness of being here. Being here embodiedly, feeling what it's like inside to be sitting, resting in gravity, what it's like to have stomach or tummy, digesting away, breathing going on, kind of emotional background tones, awareness, all of that. Just letting all that going on in a way where you're allowing whatever comes to come and whatever goes to go, any changes to happen. without choosing amongst all of those for a particular focus, just allowing the whole of that to be present in a very, very even, quiet sort of way. And when you're ready, you can just come quietly back to being here in our little group. And when everybody's fully back, if anybody would like to make a comment or two about their experience, just for posterity, really. Yeah, go for it, Marina.
I actually was surprised. It was like you were reading my mind at some stages. So when we first started and you were talking about the introspection and all of that, while you were saying that, and I think you gave the example of what, digesting breakfast or something, I had at that very moment been thinking about, oh, I feel so nice and full after lunch, you know, and, you know, how does that really feel? Yeah, so just, it was nice. It's exactly what you do. Thank you.
Very cool. Thank you. Any other takers? There's no obligation, but if anybody else would like to, that would be welcome.
I think, Greg, what I noticed was how often I distract myself from sitting still and how valuable it was to just sit.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that is one of the precious things about it. We do normally sail past this layer of our awareness. It's sort of in the background a lot. And Anne-Louise, you wanted to say something too?
Yeah, just that I really appreciated the word layer. For me, I felt like there were several layers of focus or awareness that were happening as you sort of walked us through the exercise. At one point, I was very focused and not really aware of much else that was happening in the room. And then at another level, I lifted my head and I was still very focused in the initial place, but then I could hear other things and I became more aware of other things, and the layers were sort of sitting next to each other, and that was very interesting.
Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah, can I say something?
Yeah, sure, go for it. Yeah.
I think it made me really conscious of how I don't pay attention to my physical posture when I'm just sitting. And when you get so focused on doing something, how much that contributes to not being aware of how we're sitting and what it's doing to us as we do that.
Yeah. Yes, there's a Feldenkrais edge there, so bringing up awareness to how to be embodied in a more relaxed way.
Yeah,
it's quite sweet.
Can I just add to that it's also that process made me be aware of the discomfort. So it wasn't actually all pleasurable at all. It was actually feeling, you know, the posture and other moments of discomfort within was also quite amplified.
Cool. Yeah, well, that sort of makes it revelatory in yet another direction, doesn't it? So yeah, I'm sure that the Zen Buddhists who talk about just sitting, they're a bit more wild than we would be in terms of practice, I think.
Well, and yoga that talks about the fact that yoga postures aren't necessarily about stretching or about exercise. It's about being strong enough to sit in meditation for hours on end, which I find extremely difficult to do.
Well, both Gendlin and the Feldenkrais traditions share an interest in finding what's sensuous and easy and pleasurable. And they actually think that if you find things that people can do that they experience as that, then they will learn them far more easily. So they've got a particular emphasis on that as a foundation for learning. But maybe, Marina, we should go back to the slides and I'll just tell people about that thing. So this is a new practice, not yet in our Reflection for Learning guide, but if we do in addition, it's something we will put in. But there's a lot of general background relevant to the practice in our guide. So we encourage you to check it out and see what you can find in that that you'd enjoy experimenting with. And if you'd like to give us some feedback, if you tried this experiment or any of our other experiments, just send us an email at reflection4lc@gmail.com as per the screen here, and we would love to get your feedback. Thank you.